Good afternoon all, welcome to Colney. It's grey, it's miserable, it's winter, and we love it. Paddy Davitt's with me after speaking to Alec Neil and Jonny Howson. Jonny Howson sounds like he's sort of a bit fit and half available.
Yeah. Can't do 90 minutes, but apparently he's in the squad tomorrow, so if Martin Olsen wasn't a boost of news, much needed news, that's a major shot in the arm, I would suggest. The lad himself's been in, trained all week, so he's in contention, particularly as Alex Tetty looks like he's touch and go. Mullen was only back after 2 months. Louis Thompson is still out, pelvic problem, so timely return, and keep the good news coming tomorrow would go very well.
Yes, it would do indeed. I mean, he's been a big miss, Jonny. I'm surprised that he's back fit, but I mean, clearly it was an ongoing issue, and you got the sense that maybe Jonny Howson had to play with it earlier on in the season, so maybe from here we'll see a fit and firing Jonny Howson, which would be brilliant, wouldn't he? I mean, they have missed him a lot.
Oh no, two ways about it. Yeah, I mean, he's as he was asked, he's basically the most complete midfielder here, I think, in the club, really, in terms of any role you could ask him to do. He could probably carry it out a lot better than most of the other, if not all the other midfield options. So to have a guy like that back in the mix is massive. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we asked Alex Neil, didn't we, this time last week, is there a timeline on it? And he kind of couldn't or didn't want to give us a timeline. But the fact is, it looks like he's ahead of schedule. I think it was 6 weeks ago tomorrow, actually, that he had the surgery. And originally, I recall, the timeline was sort of round about Christmas time. So, but then when he's referring to Louis Thompson a bit later on, he did talk about how different players react quicker and heal quicker and recover quicker. So it clearly, that would indicate Jonny Howson is one of the better ones on that front. So gamble if he plays tomorrow, yes, would be, but I think it's worth taking, really, because of what he would give you, even if it is only going to be a cameo. The question is, do you start him and bring him on, or do you bring him on when the game's in situ? So that's one for the manager. But positive news, no two ways about it, and we need a bit of that around here at the minute.
That we do, because of course it is 5 successive league defeats, with Brentford coming to Carrow Road on Saturday. Brentford are an awkward side, really, because they've been good on occasions and they've been pretty poor on occasions. Scott Hogan scored half their goals. He's been linked to Norwich. Alec Neil didn't know that he'd been linked to Norwich, but was quite effusive of his praise of the striker. I noticed beforehand. He certainly seems like a fan.
Oh yeah, well, what's there not to like? 24, he's only going to get better. 11 in 19, and he's clearly a lad who's on the rise, I think. Didn't really know a great deal about him myself, but I just had a look at his last season. Actually, he had an ACL, bad injury. Talking of injuries, common theme, and missed most of the season, but he still came back and scored 7 and 7. So there is a lad who would appear can score goals in the Championship. So why wouldn't teams be looking at him? Personally, I don't think there'll be anything happening on an £8 million price tag if that's what he's going to be touted as. It's just not going to happen. So we don't need to really go down too much further down that road in terms of Norwich in January. So, but yeah, more pertinently for tomorrow, he would appear to be the guy they have to stop. And if they can do that, you think they'd have half a chance.
Unless they sell someone for £8 million?
Who are they going to be able to sell?
Well, they might be able to find someone they could sell for $8 million. Who knows? Anyway, we had obviously quite a lively press conference last week. This was a little bit more calm, serene, to a degree. I guess because we know we're waiting for the action on the pitch. But it has been a calmer week, hasn't it? From even following the Derby defeat, which was still a defeat, Norwich played better, and I guess everyone's desperate to make that a turning point, aren't they?
Well, it has to be. Ultimately, it has been a positive week off the pitch, but the reality is it's back to where it hasn't been going very well at all for the last month. Tomorrow, 3:00, Carrow Road. So, as much as it's good, there's some good news, some good vibes, some good energy around this place. It feels like being here today, but we need to see that translated into not just a performance, which is what let's be honest, they did deliver at Derby, albeit not the complete performance because they came away still with another defeat, but it was a far more improved, far more committed, cohesive, collective, without the ball more than with the ball performance. But we just need to see, as Alex Neil said, everybody needs a win tomorrow. He needs a win, those players need a win, and more importantly, those fans need a win as well. So get a win tomorrow, then we might be able to maybe sort of hope a corner has been turned, but don't get a win tomorrow, and then we're back to where we were, I think.
and I'm sure Carrow Road will have its say on it. Either way, it'll just be interesting what the atmosphere is like from the start. I think that's the thing that interests me. But of course, we'll be covering it all. We'll have all the preview, and then we'll cover the game live, pinken.com, and have all the reaction afterwards too. How do you think it's going to go, Pad? I don't normally ask you prediction, but I feel like I should this time.
I think, let's not be honest, Norwich are on a poor run, but so are Brentford, 3 defeats on the spin, 16th in the table. Really, if Norwich are going to do anything in this league, you beat teams like Brentford at home, and that's the end of it, really. And it's whether they're on a bad run or not on a bad run, which Norwich clearly are, a terrible run in terms of results. But there's no excuses now, really. You're getting players back from injury, and that's key, I think. And key players back, obviously in the case of Howson. And as I say, Derby felt like a line in the sand, but they need to now put a result to go with the performance. And if they do that, then you would expect them 2-1 Norwich, which
would be nice. Just one thing I've forgotten though, Alex Tetty and Cameron Jerome both touch and go after coming off against Derby. Did you mention that?
I think I mentioned that, Mark.
That's me falling asleep then. Thanks, Pad.
No worries, mate.
Thanks all for watching.